Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Indosim Esports Network on a Tuesday night. Tonight, we bring you the Blendline TV PROCAR E-Championship from the famous Phillip Island circuit. I'm Aidan Schultz, and joining me in the booth, as always, is none other than the Paul Jackson. How are you, mate?
Pretty good, Aidan. Good to be sneaking back out from behind the cameras for round one for something a little bit different. ProCar GTE Championship Series, round one at Phillip Island by Blendline TV. So this is good to switch up from our oval stuff that we usually do.
Most definitely, mate. Looking forward to this one. The famous Phillip Island circuit is our venue for Season 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Looking forward to turning left as well as turning right tonight. As you mentioned, we do a lot of oval broadcasting, and it's our pleasure to be able to bring you Season 7. They're in the Porsche 992 tonight. We saw some very close times in the practice session. Our apologies, we had to reset our live broadcast, but ladies and gentlemen, as you see it on screen now, these drivers are in a little 10-minute warm-up session. Then we'll go straight in to qualifying tonight. We will see two races. We will have a quick 20-minute race, and then it'll be followed up by a 40-minute feature race. So looking forward to bringing you all the action of that. Paul, how good do some of these cars look?
Yeah, looking pretty good. Most of the cars there, they've got their own liveries on there, but they are repping all the series sponsors as well on their cars. So why don't we run through on who's sponsoring the series, Aidan?
Most definitely, mate. We'll bring those up. Just bear with me as we've had a few technical glitches early, but okay, we run through the sponsors. So, of course, Blendline TV is the major sponsor of this one. Also, Affordable Web Solutions. A big shout out to those guys. Vision Media, a part of this beautiful series as well. And South Gundagai Automotive. So thank you to all those guys for making the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship happen. And thank you to all the admin and everyone that has put all the hard work into making this available as well. We will go through a little bit more detail later on in the broadcast on what these sponsors do and how you can get a hold of them. But Paul, currently we're nearly at the end of this warm-up session. Really looking forward to seeing the times these guys put down in qualifying. We've already gone into qualifying. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to go on board with someone through the qualifying session. We'll do that, and we'll just let them go out there and get around it at the moment, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. So just trying to have a look through the field here. It looks like we've got at least 30 cars here on the grid tonight at Phillip Island. So quite a large field here. So it looks like we could be in for some pretty good racing, and looking at times through practice, it was pretty close there between quite a few guys, so we might have our hands full tonight, Aidan.
Yeah, it was, and speaking of who was quickest in practice, it actually was the 313 of Dan Smith, so we will focus on him. He's out on track at the moment, I believe, and we'll focus on him and take you on a lap around the famous Phillip Island circuit as he makes his way up through the back end of the track as we speak. So we'll keep following him, Paul. I've got a bit of feedback in my ear. I'll get rid of that. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. So he's currently just making his way through the centre of the circuit as we speak through Honda Corner. He'll come out of Honda Corner here up into Siberia. We'll take you on a flying lap in car next time through. So we are currently on board, as I said, with the 313 of Dan Smith. He did set the fastest lap in practice. We'll see whether he can back that up in qualifying. He's just heading up through Lukey Heights at the moment, up over the hill, and he'll be hard on the brakes down into MG Corner. So he's coming through MG Corner now as he comes out the other side of here. We will go in car as he comes around turn 11 and 12 to start another flyer. 4 minutes into the 12-minute qualifying session. How good are those shots, ladies and gentlemen? On board with the 313 of Dan Smith, making his way through the final corner, using as much exit as he can to get on the gas into fifth, up into sixth gear, all the way down Gardner Straight. Going up, pushing 300 kilometres an hour. Come down, he'll probably flick back into fifth gear, I believe, Yes, he will do that. Through Doohan corner, he comes using all the exit. No, he keeps it a little bit tight. Back down into fourth gear, into third gear as he rotates that car through the southern loop. Get on the gas as early as he can using all the exit, up into fourth, up into fifth. Full speed all the way down through Stoner corner into a hard braking zone here, into Honda corner, all the way down the gears, hard on the brakes, into second gear, get that car into first gear there, getting the car rotated nicely, use all the exit, up into third, up into fourth, through Siberia. Really tricky corner this one, very, very tricky corner. Late apex there, using all the exit again, up into third, up into fourth, up into fifth, as he makes his way through turns 7 and 8 and up across the all-important Lukey Heights. Here he goes, into Lukey Heights now. Still in fifth gear, drops it back into fourth just to keep the front of that car rotated, down into a really tricky downhill braking section here into MG corner. Takes it really shallow on the entry there. Up into second, up into third, through the last two corners, 11 and 12, still in third, using all the exit, click it up into fourth. We'll watch him as he comes around the final turn 12, up into fifth, hits the apex nicely, on the gas as hard as he can, into sixth as he comes off the corner. We'll see where this puts the 313 of Dan Smith in qualifying as he goes across the line. And Dan Smith has just jumped up to P4 with a 130.10. But currently, it just looks like my data's just gone. Currently on the pole at the moment is Jordan Mulak. Sorry, Jordan, if we are saying that wrong. So he's gone to the top with a 129.84 and he's in pit lane. So it looks like that's all that the 196 has for us tonight. Matt Feldman is in the second position currently with a 130 flat. He's in pit lane as well, so that's all he's got for us. And Jared Knight will round out your top three currently with a 130.01. So very close times here at the top of qualifying, Paul. And how good were those images?
Yeah, it was great to jump in the hot seat there with Dan Smith to take us for a lap around Phillip Island. So he's definitely got a bit of pace tonight, being fast in practice and putting the car up there on fourth. But Jordan, the only guy that's managed to sneak into the 129s there. So that's a very fast time for Jordan.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Very, very fast time by Jordan. I'm not sure that we saw them poke into the 129 second lap times in that previous practice session. So that's a really solid lap there by Jordan. But if we go down and have a look at some of the other times, fourth place at the moment, as we said, was Dan Smith. Colby Coam up there with a 130.10, identical time there to the 313 of Dan Smith. Steven Skukovic up there also in P6 with a 130.21. So currently between the pole position currently being held by Jordan Mulak, there is only 0.4 of a second between the top 12, and the 12th position currently is held by the 71 of Garth Duffy.
Yeah, just jumping on board here with Josh Craig. A couple of green sectors there for his laps around. So we'll see what he can jump himself up to in the starting grid and qualifying.
Yeah, and Josh is just making his way across the start-finish line now. So Josh Craig in the number 20 car has just jumped into the 25th starting position with a 131.33. So currently 1.5 seconds off the current pole position time of the 196 of Jordan Mulak. That did set a 129.84 that you can see on the screen, but we're currently watching Craig still go around, so we'll see whether Craig can beat his time for his second time lap. He'll get around, hopefully. We're 8 minutes 23, 8 minutes 26 now into qualifying, so we'll see whether he can better his time through qualifying here. Looks like Dan Beckinsale, Mr. Dan Beckinsale, Daniel Beckinsale in car 19's just jumped up to the position 19 with a 130.76. Currently on board now, we've just changed over and we're with Nico Filippetto. So sorry guys if I do get your names wrong tonight. Some of them are a bit of tongue twisters. So, as we see Nico just loop it there in the 77 car, so he won't go any quicker in this one, Paul.
No, it's a bit unfortunate, but it is open qualifying there, and all the cars are out on track at the same time, so always a bit of fun when it's open qualifying to get in the mix of everyone.
Yeah, it is. It can definitely either hinder you or enhance you, and we saw that it definitely didn't help Filippetto there as he got a little bit deep into Honda corner as it looked there. So unfortunate for him. It doesn't look like there's many other people still to cut laps around here and set a time, but Dimitri Agathos has just jumped up into the P10 with a 1:30.26, a solid drive there by the 66 Dimitri Agathos on board now with him. So we will see whether he can better that time. I don't think he will be able to. It looks like this will be his warm down lap because we're 9 minutes 50. Oh no, we're a 12-minute qualifying session. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm used to a 10-minute, so I do apologise about that. So on board with Dimitri Agathos in the 66 now. We'll just watch his sectors and see how they come up. But he makes his way down into Honda corner now, getting on the gas nice and early, making his way up to Siberia. Very important, as I said, to get a nice run through here. Can be used as a double apex. Looks like he's taken a little bit too much there and put the loud pedal down a bit too much there, Paul, and looks like that's the end of that one for him.
Yeah, these cars can get a bit loose in the rear sometimes when you're flat stick and pushing a little bit too hard, and cause them to lose a bit of traction and spin off. So they are a bit of a handful at times.
Yeah, they are, and I run these cars actually on a Wednesday night in a different series, and they're a bit of fun, but the front tyres can generally drop off pretty quick in these, so we'll see how that eventuates during the race and how the drivers handle that. It is a 20-minute sprint race for the first one, so they won't have to take fuel or tyres. It'll be a straight-out sprint, so managing that tyre where we generally, as I said, find about a 4-lap run before you'll see the difference, and we'll definitely see a difference in strategy when we come to the longer race as we move on later on the broadcast, Paul.
Yeah, looking forward to that fuel stop strategy in the second race. That will definitely change up a little bit, I think, and see if anyone opts to take those tyres or not as well.
Yeah, it will be. Tyres do take longer than fuel, I believe, and it's about a 20-25 second difference because the way that their 40-minute race is going to run, if they run deep, they're going to be stationary for a less time to be able to top up that tank to run to the end. So if you do decide to take tyres, there's about a 25 second difference. So not going to help on track position, but the first 3 or 4 laps, you're definitely going to be a lot quicker. So it'll be interesting to see who decides to take that strategy as we are just about to end qualifying, and we'll go through your grid here for round 1 of season 7 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, brought to you right here on the InterSim Esports Network across your platforms of Facebook and YouTube. So we've already got Stephen Dellis in on the chat, so thank you, Stephen, but we'll just bring up the grid there and show you how round 1 is going to start. So Jordan Mulak is off the pole position. On the outside of the front row will be Matt Feldman. On the inside of the second row at a P3 will be Jared Knight, followed by Dan Smith in P4. Kobe Coham in P5, Steven Skukovic out of P7, Ricky Provenzale out of 7, Andrew Smith out of 8. Brett Smith will start out of the 9th position with Dimitri Agathos out of 10, Dave Oliver 11, and Adam Proctor out of 12. Paul?
And over the page we go. So P13, Bradley Carr with Garth Duffy in P14, Anthony Hulme in P15, and Michael Budge in P16 from Binge Cane Racing. So we'll see a few of those cars on the grid tonight, I'm sure. Tim Weston, another Binge Cane car, in P17, Dion Jarvis in P18, Dan Green and Nico Filippetto in our top 20 spot there. Dan Beckinsale in 21, Wayne Weiser in 22, and 23rd spot goes to Martin Hallinan, and 24th on the grid, Andrew Franklin.
And we'll quickly roll over and take you through the rest of the field as we're about to go green very quickly here. So Ross Green out of 25, Adrian Gretsch 26, Josh Craig 27, Travis Annabelle 28, Jonathan Hovey 29, Brian Bullock out of the 30th position, Chris Ellis out of 31, Tim Maynard 32, Lindsay Kearns out of 33, Ashley Kersey 34, and rounding out your 35 car starting grid tonight is Damon Maple. As we are about to go green, so the nerves are rising. The revs are rising. Looks like the grid's set. The lights are up, ladies and gentlemen, for round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and we are green for round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Looks like it was a great start out of pole position there by Jordan as they make their way down to turn 1 down the Gardner Straight. Going through Doohan Corner now. Looks like the white car there, sorry, my live timing hasn't come up. Looks like Jordan has taken a really good start to this one as he makes his way through the southern loop. Colby Coam with a great start. He's already up 2 positions. You can see him there back in the 3rd position. So great start there by Colby. So they make their way down into the hard braking zone now of Honda Corner. Looks like, oh, we're going 3 wide into Honda Corner. Very good driving by all drivers there, no contact. So sending it really early on this one, Paul, but pretty safe start with a really big field early in this one.
Yeah, looks like a few guys had a few off tracks on the start there, but nothing too major. So definitely a good clean start for everyone.
Yeah, nice clean start. As I said, Jordan Mulak with a great start. He started off the pole position. It's status quo for the top 3 at the moment. Jordan Mulak, Matt Feldman and Jared Knight are your top 3. Looks like Jared Knight was the one that was making that move into Honda Corner on Colby. So not a perfect start there for Jared, but he's quite quickly moved up back into that 3rd position as we're just down looking at Michael Budge at the moment in a little bit of a battle sitting back there in 14th position. So he's made that one stick. So Michael Budge into the 14th position. He's had a solid start up 2 spots. Dion Jarvis just ahead of him in 13th at the moment. He's as we see a car coming out of the turn 12 has had a big lick into the inside wall. That's not the way he would have wanted to start his championship. So that was Kersey, actually. Garth Duffy, was it? No, Ashton Kersey, I believe that was, as we're on board with. I don't know. It looks like our live timing is playing up. So Paul's in my ear. That was Garth Duffy. So my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. But the 196 there, Jordan Mulak, off to a great start, still leading this one. He's just eased out that gap to just over half a second on Matt Feldman, but it doesn't look like that's going to get much bigger very quickly. So we'll just have a look at some of the other big movers. Ashley Kersey, as I mentioned, he's actually up 13 positions on his starting position into 21st. Lindsay Kearns is up 15 positions on his starting position also. He's moved up to 18th spot. So some really good starts there by all the drivers, Paul.
Yeah, definitely. Everyone's making a few spots there. There's quite a few guys that have moved up or either sitting in their starting grid position. So there's certainly some big jumps in spots here so far.
There is, and it's status quo at the front, but it's just settled down a little bit. We need to go back to the sponsors. Obviously, Blendline TV making this available for everybody. Thank you so much to them for being a part of this season. Affordable Web Solutions, we mentioned them early in the broadcast, a little bit about them. So Affordable Web Solutions, they take away the overwhelm by helping motivated and ambitious small business owners to bring their online presence to reality by using proven strategies to design and develop websites that provide a quality return on investment. So Affordable Web Solutions, if you're looking for websites or that creative type of thing, get on to them, whether it be through Facebook. They would have a Facebook page, through your Google search, and support the people that support the iRacing community. So thank you so much to the Affordable Web Solutions for being a part of this series. As we watch Kobe Colham, they're still leading this motor race, currently lap 3 into the 14-lap race. It's either lap or time dependent, so whichever they get to first, but looking at their times, they'll definitely get to the lap 14. So Colby doing a great job so far. Paul, like I said, something a little bit different as we watch this battle here between Andrew Smith in the 5th position and Jared Knight in 4th in the 22, getting really close there through Honda Corner. But these guys are showing some great racing early in this one, mate.
Definitely, yeah. Couple of off tracks looking at notes there in the background, but not too many crashes. I think you did put the commentator's curse though, Aiden, on Ashley Kersey there, because they've actually had a bit of a crash in the background, so we might just go have a quick squiz at what happened there.
Yeah, let's do that, and I tend to do that a lot, so I've got to stop talking about him, I think. But back to the instant replay, we'll see how that happened. So on board with Ashley Kersey there. We'll just see how this came about. So going down into Honda corner. Oh, really late under the brakes, and looks like he just caught the grass in his braking zone. And I tell you what, a Porsche, let alone any car, does not brake very well on slicks on the grass. So that has moved him well back into the field. So I did get it wrong there too, Paul. I was talking about Colby Coham. He was who started out of the third position, and Andrew Smith was fighting with him early. Sorry, he's actually in P3 in the 25 car. So it's actually Jordan Mueller who's currently leading this one. He's still got about that half-second gap over Matt Feldman, but then they've got about a 1.2-second gap on Colby at the moment. So that's ebbing and flowing a little bit. We'll keep an eye on that one. Andrew Smith's back there in fourth and further 0.7 of a second behind Colby, and Jared Knight the same gap for the fifth. So Steven Skukovic, who's down one spot, he's in the 7th position at the moment on his starting position. But Lindsay Kearns is definitely, we might focus on him for a little while if we can, Paul. He's having a cracker start to this one. He's now up 18 spots on his starting position, and he's in 15th. So there's Lindsay Kearns there in the silver, black and blue car as he makes his way down the main straight. Lindsay's currently 4 seconds behind Nick Filippetto, who is in the 14th position. So we'll just keep an eye on that gap, viewers, and see whether Lindsay can make any inroads on that gap. But everyone tuning in on our platforms, whether it be Facebook or YouTube, especially Facebook, we're watching your comments as we're broadcasting. So thanks for tuning in, and make sure you keep those comments coming. Let us know who you're going for. Ask us questions. Interact with us, because we love interacting with you here on the Intersim Esports Network. We can see Stephen Dellis, James Hayes and Darren Knight have already jumped into the comments, so thank you so much. And the 67 there, Lindsay Kearns getting a little hit by the 96, Anthony Holmes. So a little bit of a tappy as they went through Honda corner. Oh, up the inside there. It looks like Lindsay Kearns, Anthony Holm has made that position on Lindsay Kearns, so that's now brought him up into the 16th position, Paul.
And Dan Beckinsale also got round Lindsay there a couple of corners before, and he's actually moving his way through the field now. So Dan Beckinsale's up to P14, up 7 spots from where he started.
Yep, the number 19 of Dan Beckinsale, as you said, Paul. A great-looking car too. There, the blue, white and black. Very striking car there. So he's had a solid start up into the 14th. As you said, he's got a gap of about 4.6 seconds to Nick Filippetto in the 13th position. So again, we'll keep an eye on that gap. So Tim Weston's up 5 positions rather in the 61 car. He's up to 12th. That gap at the front, though, Paul, still sitting about that half a second between Jordan Mueller and Matt Feldman. That hasn't really moved, but Andrew Smith is slowly moving back. They've now pulled out a 2.1 second gap on Andrew, so it's a battle or two at the front at the moment, but we'll see how that whether that changes as this 14-lap race progresses. So we're just back there with Jared Knight at the moment in the 4th position, I believe that is. Or has he moved back into the 5th? No, he's in the 4th position. And Dan Smith, you can see the 313 right on the back of him. Dan Smith with a really nice looking livery as well, driving it really hard into Lukey Heights here, going down into Honda corner. They're taking a really shallow entry into Honda corner. Obviously, this is how these cars like to drive. So really shallow entry to try and get on the gas and straighten that car up as quick as they can to be able to make their way through 11 and 12 and get as good run as they can onto the main straight. So Dan Smith, we are on board now. Let's jump on and see what it looks like from Dan Smith's view in the cockpit, and let's do a lap quiet around the Phillip Island circuit. And there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's what it's like in a Porsche 992 around the famous virtual Phillip Island circuit in the 313 of Dan Smith. But back on board, we see Jordan Mulak still leading this motor race in the 196. That gap went out to about 1.2 seconds as we were on board with Dan there. But Matt Feldman has pulled that back and halved it to 0.6 seconds. Andrew Smith still keeping that gap to 1.5 seconds as well in the third position. Looks like a couple of drivers that we haven't spoken about have had a little bit of an issue early in this one, and they're the likes of Martin Hallinan, Chris Lillis, Dave Oliver and Damon May. They've all been through pit lane, so not the way that they would have wanted to start their race, Paul.
No, not when it's only a short 20-minute sprint race. You definitely don't want to be making a pit stop if you don't have to. There goes Dan Smith in the background there, just getting turned around.
Yeah, Dan Smith. I've definitely put the commentators' curse on tonight, Paul, haven't I? But if we can, we'll just jump back and do a replay and see what happened to the 313 of Dan Smith. So we'll just watch this one. Dan Smith there on the inside line as they make their way through Siberia. Coming out. Oh, looks like he's been tagged in the rear there. Not sure who that was. So didn't quite get on 22 that was. So he didn't quite get the overlap there and just got caught in the right-hand rear by the 22 car. So that was Jared Knight. Unfortunate issue there for Dan Smith. Sorry, Dan, when you watch this broadcast back, apologies for the commentator's curse. You were going really well. But Dan Smith's recovered at my live timing at the moment. He is back in 12th. So all not said and done for Dan as we're lap 9 into 14 here. Hopefully he can get back up and try and get a top 10 out of this one and a good starting position for the second race. But as I said, ladies and gentlemen, here on the InterSim Esports Network for the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, it is Jordan Mulak leading the way with Matt Feldman in second spot. This is something that's real. This is a battle that is really heating up. That gap has slowly come down. So if Matt Feldman can just get that little bit closer as they head their way up through Lukey Heights, down into Honda Corner, he'll get a good run onto the straight. He's a little bit far away at the moment, so I don't suspect he'll be able to get that, but the gap is slowly coming back. He's got it back to 0.4. So Jordan Mulak might have driven the car a little bit too hard too early and heated up those fronts as we see him lock that inside front down into Honda Corner there. So as I said it, he may have drove this car a little bit too hard too early. So Matt Feldman having a good run out of turn 11 through turn 12. He's going to have the good opportunity to get in the draft and the slipstream down the Gardner Straight now and possibly make a pass. He's a little bit too far behind, I believe, but we'll just keep on board with this battle and see whether Matt Feldman wants to make a move and lead this motor race as they are they're actually lap 9 this time around. So 6 laps to go rather. So Matt Feldman making his way closer and closer to Jordan Mulak. Jordan Mulak would see that black Rockstar Energy. They've all got that same livery. It looks like a Rockstar Energy livery, but looks like he's got that black car full in his mirrors there of the 196 Jordan Mulak. So he'll just be wanting to hit his markers and try not to focus on the black car of Matt Feldman, but he's slowly pulling that gap in. Andrew Smith's there in the yellow car as well. He's not out of this one if something goes pear-shaped with these two guys at the front, Paul. Definitely.
Anything could happen when you start catching up and you start wanting to make those moves in the last couple of laps. The guy that's sitting there behind you, a second back there, Andrew Smith's in a good spot there to pounce at any opportunity.
Most definitely, but getting up in behind these cars too. So Matt Feldman's going to be heating up those front rotors, heating up those front tyres, sitting right up in behind the gearbox there of Jordan Mulak. So, yeah, these are rear engine cars. So there'd be a lot of hot air coming off the back of Jordan Mulak's car at the moment. Every time he wants to try and get close, he will heat up those fronts or get in that disturbed air, and he'll have to back off a little bit earlier for those corners to get that car rotated. So they're heading down the Gardner Straight at the moment. Just clicked over lap 11 of 14. 4 to go in this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's heating up here at the front. Andrew Smith still keeping that gap at 1.4 seconds to the leaders in third. Steven Skukovic up into fourth. He's made the pass on Dimitri Agathos. Dimitri Agathos sitting there in the 5th position. Adam Proctor's currently in 6th. Brett Smith in 7th. Dion Jarvis in 8th. Michael Budge up 7 spots into 9th, and rounding out your top 10 currently is Tim Weston. So Jordan Mueluck there. Sorry, we've just gone back to Matt Feldman. We've just gone back to Smith. So Dan Smith, we're on board at the moment. He's going to have a look at Nico Filippetto as they come down into Honda corner. Filippetto covers off, drives it in really early. Is he going to do the switchback? We'll see whether Dan Smith can get on the gas, but he's going to be on the wrong side of the road here as they head up into the southern loop. So Dan Smith's going to want to turn it back, get on the gas early. He's still going to be on the wrong side as they make their way through 7 and 8, but Dan Smith's got on the gas early enough. They're going to go side by side through 7, but great move there, and Dan Smith just takes the position off Nico Filippetto and moves up into the 11th position, Paul.
Yeah, that was some fantastic racing there by both Dan Smith and Nico Filippetto there.
Yeah, great racing, and apologies, ladies and gentlemen, if I get names and battles wrong. This is our first time broadcasting and commentating the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. So as we get further on in the championship, we'll be sure to get to know who these drivers are. As we said, if you're tuning in here on Facebook or YouTube, be sure to comment. Let us know who your drivers are and let us know who to look out for. We want to bring you all the images we can here on the InterSim Esports Network and what you want to see in your favourite drivers. So be sure to comment and interact with us as Jordan Mueluck still has that half a second gap ahead of Matt Feldman. Andrew Smith slowly pegging back that gap to Matt Feldman to about 1.1 seconds, but it looks like he's on a little bit of a rubber band there at the moment. He comes forward and then goes backwards, and that could be a little bit of that hot air that I did mention earlier, but Jordan Mueluck still leading the way. He's led every lap of this race so far, and that has been 12 of 14 as he makes his way through Lukey Heights. So we'll just keep an eye, as we said, on Matt Feldman, see whether he wants to send this one and have a go at winning the first race for round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Brought to you, of course, by Blendline TV. We hope that we are across on Blendline TV cross-posting. We've done that, so if we are, thank you very much to Blendline TV. Of course, Affordable Web Solutions, as I went through a little bit about what they do. A big sponsor of this series. Vision Media, of course, we'll talk about them a little bit more on the broadcast too. And South Gundagai Automotive, the amazing sponsors that allow the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship go around. And thank you so much to the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship for allowing us at the InterSim Esports Network to be a part of this great series. So currently Jordan Mueluck still leading the way here. Matt Feldman right behind him in 3rd, just sitting there at about that 0.4 of a second. So he can't quite get close enough to be able to poke his nose up the inside of Matt Feldman. Andrew Smith, that same gap in 3rd. Dion Jarvis is back in 8th. I need to mention Dion. He is 10 spots up on his starting position. He's currently 4 seconds behind the 7th place, the 98th of Adam Proctor. Looks like Adam Proctor's just made the move on Brett Smith, or they're having a battle at the moment. But as I say that again, the commentator's curse has happened, and Brett Smith has run in a little bit hard in Honda corner. So we might just go back and have a look and see whether we can see what happened there, Paul, if we can. Not sure whether we got that, but we'll see what happens. So that's not going to be beneficial for him at all. So this race was definitely heating up as we see a move down here into Honda corner, and that's where it all happened. He's gone for the move and just gone in way too hot, locked that inside front, and it doesn't turn when you've got those fronts locked. So unfortunate there for the 16th of Brett Smith. He's moved back to the 12th position. So great images. Great images there, Paul. Thank you so much for that. But Jordan Mueluck still leading the way. We'll just keep on board with this. Not long to go in this sprint race. Matt Feldman right there, as you can see behind him. It's status quo, P1 and P2 where they started, and P1 and P2 is where they are. Apologies for some of those replays and things coming up. We're having a few glitches here on the InterSim Esports Network, but we'll be sure to iron these ones out as the night goes on and going into the second race. So a little bit of a lock up there by Jordan, so that wouldn't have helped him. You could see that right-hand front just stop a little bit as he turned into Honda corner. So hasn't really helped Matt Feldman, though. That gap is dropping ever so slightly there, which is allowing Andrew Smith to range up on the back there. Steven Skukovic keeping him honest in fourth, Dimitri Agathos in fifth. But this is the battle for the lead. Next time past the strike, it will be the final lap, I believe, as he is negotiating Lukey Heights on lap 13 of 14 here for round one of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. We will bring the winner of this race up into the broadcast booth to have a little bit of a chat, as there will be a slight delay between the first and the second race of about 5 to 8 minutes, I believe, before we bring all the action for what I will call the feature race. But he's gone very defensive there onto the main straight. Did he get a slowdown? Because it looks like we're going to have a change for this motor race. No, that looks like, is this a change or is that the fin? No, it's the final of the race. So I thought we were on lap 13 or 14 there, Paul. We totally missed the end of that race. My apologies, viewers. So Jordan Mulak takes the first race for round one of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Matt Feldman will be in the third position. Andrew Smith will finish in third. But we'll just wait for all these drivers to go across the line. We'll bring up your full grid or full order on how they finish this race one, Paul. So I totally missed that one. I thought we were on the second last lap, but as we have said, we're struggling a little bit with some of the stuff here on the Intersimity Sports Network, and our apologies. It is the first round. We'll make sure we get those fixed up for the second one, but that's the pleasure of the internet. But we can see Jordan celebrating his victory there and doing a couple of donuts at the exit road there of Honda Corner. So great race there by Jordan. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. Jordan Mulak up is the winner, and we're just trying to bring him up now. So we have just brought him into the broadcast booth. Hopefully he's got his mic off mute. We'll just wait and see whether he does, because he doesn't have his mic off mute at the moment. See if we can have a chat to him. It doesn't look like we can. So we'll just go through the final finishing order there for round one, race one of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. And as we say that, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to bring that one up for you, ladies and gentlemen. So what we'll do, we will cut the broadcast at the moment, I believe. Let's just have a look. I've got Paul in my background. Okay, guys, our apologies for all your viewers. Stay tuned into us. It looks like that all our software is going really slow, as you just see the final order there come up and it's just gone away from us. So no idea what's happening. Our apologies, guys. Modern technology, but we can say that Jordan Mulak was the winner of race one. And finally, it's come up, Paul doing his magic in the background. Thanks for staying with us, ladies and gentlemen. So Jordan Mulak takes the win for round one, race one of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Matthew Feldman in second spot, Andrew Smith in third, Steven Skukovic finished in fourth, Dimitri Agathos in fifth, Adam Proctor in sixth, Dion Jarvis 7, Michael Budge 8th, Tim Weston in ninth, and Dan Smith rounded out your top 10. So as we go through that, you can find your favourite driver for the rest of the race and see where they ended up. A couple of drivers that had a really unfortunate start to that one, but they've got a really long or a longer race, twice the length in race for this second race coming up. So we look forward to bringing you that one. Paul, thank you so much. You've got that sorted for us. So as we keep rolling through the grid, but how good was that for the first race of round one of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship?
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Just everything was just having a bit of a meltdown in the background there. Nothing wanted to change, and a bit of a delay on everything when we were pushing the buttons and that. So hopefully that'll be sorted now. But yeah, round one went nice and quick. Probably a few guys there that round one didn't go their way as they hoped. But yeah, round two, well, technically I don't know if you'd say round 2. I guess you'd say race 2 of round 1. The feature race there, so double the length, and a pit stop strategy involved this time. So hopefully those guys that had a bit of a hard luck story in race 1, they can put in a better position for race 2.
Yeah, hopefully they can. But, well, we've got time, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are currently out on an 8-minute warm-up session just to roll over between race 1 and race 2. We'll take the time to just go through some of the sponsors again in more detail. We spoke about Affordable Web Solutions earlier. Again, if you are after any of that web type stuff, whether it be developing websites or helping small businesses get to where they want to go, jump on Affordable Web Solutions on the web through Google, or go onto their Facebook page, get a hold of them, or anyone, the people that run these series will be able to lead you in the right direction if that is something that you need help with. Vision Media. So a little bit about Vision Media. As you can see their logo up there, Vision produces automotive, event and portrait photography for commercial and social media content. So they're a newly founded brand. The owner of Vision is passionate about people, travel and all things automotive. So for all your photography needs, contact Steve, and you can find him at www.vision, so that's vichen.com.au. I'll repeat that again, so that's www.vision.com.au. So thank you so much to Vision Media for being a part of the PROCAR E-Championship. And of course, we can't forget South Gundagai Automotive. So they were established back in 2018. You can get a hold of them for all your general mechanical repairs and maintenance, your registration inspections, whether it be heavy or light vehicles. They do electronic diagnosis and repair as well. They have a tyre fitting service. They also do race car preparation and repairs, wheel alignments and full car setups. So if you're in the automotive game, whether it be your personal car, whether you're in the racing game in the real world, and down in the Gundagai region, jump over to South Gundagai Automotive and get onto them. They will be sure to help you out. So again, Affordable Web Solutions, Vision Media and South Gundagai Automotive, big parts of this Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. And as I said, we can't forget Blendline TV. They are a big part of this one. Hopefully they can see us cross-streaming across on their Blendline TV Facebook page. If we are not there for some reason, we'll be sure to fix that one up for round 2. And Paul, we're 6 minutes into the 8-minute warm-up session before race 2 of round 1 of this championship. And we're going to have a long one, as you said, with a pit stop and a bit of strategy.
Yeah, for sure. So I feel like doing a little bit of a different thing here, Aidan. So sometimes we do put out the feelers there on who we think's going to win the race, but we've sort of been staring away from that, not wanting to give anyone a commentator's curse there. So how about we do something a little bit different, Aidan, and we look out for the paint scheme, that your favourite paint scheme on the track.
Yeah, let's do that. Great call there, Paul. As you said, we usually put the commentator's curse and pick who we believe or we go for rather in a particular race. So jump onto our chat here on Facebook or YouTube. We can see it come in. Don't be afraid, guys. We can see you watching. Jump into the chat. Let us know what your favourite livery is, as we have the 63 car there at Adrian Gretsch. A very simple livery, that one, but a striking red. So jump in, let us know what your favourite livery is, and we'll be sure to bring that to you here on the broadcast. But Anthony Holm at the moment in this 8-minute warm-up session is the fastest on track at the moment with a 1:30.37. So nobody has dropped into that illustrious 1:29 mark that we saw in the qualifying session. Stephen Skukovic on board there. We'll be sure to talk to him through this race. Stephen said that he was happy to have a chat with us through this race. So the number one there, Stephen Skukovic, will bring him to you through the broadcast. But Paul, 20 seconds left in this warm-up session. I believe where they finished in that first race is where they'll start the second. This is not, this is a longer race, so it's not going to end as it started, but it was definitely 1 and 2 in qualifying in that first race. That's the way they finished. So we'll see whether that happens in the longer race this time. So it's gone to 8 minutes and 10 seconds. So any minute now they're going to be gridding up. So we will bring the grid up for you very shortly when they start making their way onto the starting grid here at the virtual Phillip Island. So the winner of race 1, it's exactly how we saw them end race 1, or finish race 1 rather. Jordan Mulak will be off the pole with Matt Feldman out of P2. Andrew Smith will be out of P3 with Steven Skukovic P4. Dimitri Agathos 5, Adam Proctor 6. Dion Kern 7, Michael Budge 8th, Tim Weston 9th, Dan Smith 10th, Brett Smith, just to make it easy for us, not in 11th, and Nico Filippetto. We'll just do up to the 12th position there, Paul, because they're on the grid and we're about to go green. You can see the starting list still roll over in front of you. So here we go for the long race. Round 1, race 2 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship here from the virtual Phillip Island circuit on the Intersim Esports Network, brought to you by the Blendline TV. So here we go. We'll see whether Jordan Mulak can have the same start here for race 2, or whether Matt Feldman can get the jump on him in the 88. So the lights are up. The revs are rising. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green lights. And we go. Jordan Mulak with a great start. Andrew Smith went nowhere off the start there. And we've got a big one down the main straight. 3, 4, 5, 6 cars involved in that one. There's a massive incident. 10, 11, 12. Half the field pool gone. Tim Maynard, Andrew Franklin, Dave Oliver, Dan Beckinsale, and the list goes on. And another car, that looks like, is that the leader? Off. That Jordan's off early in this one as well. So not sure if we got race control in this one or whether they've pulled a yellow. So we'll just wait and see. It looks like
they threw the yellow off that start there. So hopefully that'll help a few of these guys maybe get back around onto the back of this pack at the start, because that's definitely not the way these guys wanted the start of that one to go.
Yeah, that was definitely not how they wanted the start to go, but I tell you what, it brought some good action here on the Intersim Esports Network. And Damien Skukovic tuning in on the chat. Thank you so much for helping me pronounce Viken for Viken Photos. So thank you so much there, Damien. Viken, my apologies. And Damon May, check out 11, 19 or 77 for AWS. But we're just going through and having a look at that incident there. The 64 with a big lick. It's hard to tell you who's who in this because there are cars going everywhere, but that is not what they wanted for the starter race 2, of which is going to be a really long race. So a long way back for those guys. But currently we see the leader of the motor race. He did go off track there a little bit, but it looks like the yellow had already been thrown by then. So that's a really lucky break there by Jordan Mulak. Andrew Smith moved up into P2. It looked like Skukovic has had a solid start. He's still there in 4th as well. And Dimitri Agathos had a good start as well. He's up 2 positions. So we'll just settle it down a little bit. Lap 2 of this race. And as they all just catch up under caution. But Bradley Carr and Dave Oliver are currently still in pit lane. So, and also that would be Andrew Greach, Dan Green and Tim Maynard as well. And quite a lot of drivers in pit lane. So I reckon there was about 12 drivers involved in that one, Paul.
Yeah, I think there was probably about a third of the field there, possibly. So definitely, when you have standing starts on here, you can have a little bit of drama if a car doesn't go, or if the guys just fan out a little bit and get into each other. So standing starts can produce a little bit of this, usually over a rolling start.
Yeah, it can do. And what we saw there, the 88 of Matt Feldman, who started out of the second starting position alongside Jordan Mulak, he got a lot of wheel spin off the start there and pretty much went nowhere. So that would have checked everyone up. Everyone was trying to avoid him, and it would have just been a concertina effect through the mid-pack, which we saw So it actually reminded me there a little bit of the old supercar start where we saw Jason Bargwanna get into that outside or inside wall, whichever you want to call it. It's actually the outside wall, onto the grass before they put the wall there, and actually did a couple of barrel rolls down the main straight. So that brought back a few memories for me as we saw the guys do that. But we didn't see anyone go upside down, thank God, and hopefully they can go in and get those repairs done. But currently there's only about 14 drivers in behind the pace car on the live timing, but you can see more of them there. So we'll go back to first. We'll just see whether the lights on the pace car are out, but no, they're still on. So we'll go around under yellow for another one here, Paul. But guys, like we said, keep tuning into the chat. Ryan Barber, thank you so much for tuning in here on the InterSim Esports Network through our Facebook chat. What a start. You're exactly right there, mate. Hopefully your old man's going tonight in another series, going well tonight in another series, and doing well in that. So I'll be sure to check out that after this broadcast, mate. But thank you for tuning in to us. We really appreciate it. You've also come up on the other chat, so thank you so much. But as I said, ladies and gentlemen, Jordan Mueller is leading the way. Andrew Smith will start this restart out of P2, Dimitri Agathos P3, and Steven Skukovic out of P4. We might actually take this opportunity and bring Steven Skukovic up into the broadcast booth. So we're doing that again, and we're trying to bring people up, but they've got them on mute. So we brought Steven up there, and we'll just move him back to his race channel if I can. Just bear with me 1 second as I let you take over there, mate.
No worries. So yeah, a few of these guys possibly, if they're in team channels and whatnot, might just have it on a push to talk or something like that, and wonder if, well, obviously we're not on push to talk here, or I'm not, so the channel allows it, but yeah, maybe they just want to focus on their racing and their task at hand, especially with round one. Everyone's wanting to bank as many points as they can in the first round to help out their championship.
Yeah, most definitely. And a couple of drivers would be liking the fact that that happened at the start, that they started down the back of the grid and didn't get caught up in that. And one of those drivers is the 028 of Martin Hallinan. He's actually up into 18th. He's up 16 positions. So he may got involved in that, not quite sure, because there were so many cars involved, but he's currently in the 18th position. But the lights are off the pace car, Paul.
Yeah, this time round we'll be going green, so this time will be a rolling start, not a standing start here, as round one we have our first safety car.
Yeah, we did. We didn't see that in the sprint race, so yeah, we saw that early on, a lot earlier than we thought we would, but we'll see whether these guys can get off to a nice clean start as they make their way now into MG corner. We'll see them come out of here. We'll watch Jordan Mueller bring us to the green here. The pace car will slowly move its way ahead of the field and make its way into pit lane. So the pace car will go into pit lane now, and the field is in the hands of Jordan Mueller. He's backing the field up. Andrew Smith right there behind him. Dimitri Agathos will watch them as they come around turn 12 onto Gardner Straight and see how we go. So we'll wait for that green light. He has held them up a long way. And we are green for the second time here for round one, race two of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Jordan Mueller with a great start. They're already too wide in the mid to the back of the pack at the moment, so no crossing before they get past the start-finish line, and it doesn't look like anyone's done that. But status quo at the front here. Jordan Mueller, as you can see, his nice picture there, up in the first position at the moment. Andrew Smith still there in second. One we need to keep an eye out through this one is Matt Feldman. So he comes second in that first race. He's back in 13th, but he's down in the battle packs at the moment. So see whether he can make his way up. Oh, so there was a big send there for first position. So Andrew Smith with a big dive down there into Honda corner. He's made that one stick. And we have a new leader, and the first time we've seen a different leader for round one of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, and that's the 99 Andrew Smith. But Jordan Mueller's not going to lay down easy as he sticks it up the inside, and they nearly make contact through that corner, and they're coming up through Lukey Heights. So I thought Jordan was just going to touch the inside rear quarter panel there of the 99 Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith goes in really deep down into Honda corner, sorry, into MG corner. So Andrew Smith making his way, and he's really consolidated that pass there, Paul, and we've got a new leader for the first time here for round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship.
Some big moves from Andrew, and some great driving there as well between Andrew and Jordan. So this is definitely going to heat up as Andrew zigzagging down the start line there, trying to break a bit of draft there, but Jordan is all over the back of him.
Yeah, he definitely is. He's not going to be liking that. He hasn't not led a lap of this round 1 currently. So Andrew Smith is the first person to take it to Jordan Mulak, but he's doing a good job at the moment. As you saw him, he was swerving to try and keep Jordan out of the draft, but I'll guarantee you Jordan's going to have a look as they go through the Stoner corner now, but he's on the wrong side. Is he able to clear him? No. Andrew's going to go. Does he go too hard there into Honda corner? He does go a little bit wide. Jordan does the switchback. He's going to get that place on Andrew Smith, and Andrew Smith's just going to have to duck behind him there through Siberia. So no, quickly did we see the change for the lead of this motor race. We've now had the change back, and it's status quo with Jordan Mulak leading this one. Dimitri Agathos would be looking at this battle, Paul, and licking his lips going, come on, boys. You just do that at front. I'll sit here in third and wait for you guys to make contact, because Andrew Smith looks really racy and doesn't look like that he is willing to sit there in second. The more that he tries to battle Jordan, though, the more that's going to allow Dimitri Agathos and even the likes of Steven Skukovic back into this battle. So on board there with Dimitri Agathos in the third position. Very easy to spot him out there on the race track, Paul, with that chrome, black and orange car. He come 5th in the first race and is up into the third position currently here as they go through the start-finish line to start lap 6 of 27.
So the big question is going to be is where's everyone going to pit and what's their strategy going to be here? So we've got to take fuel, and they're going to have the optional of tyres if they take them or if they don't. If they can last the 27 laps without sacrificing too much pace, if they can save those tyres, or if they're going to take the gamble and take that extra hit in pit lane with the pit stop time to take a fresh set of tyres.
Yeah, you can see there that it's saying 50 minutes on the timer. It's actually a 40-minute race or 27 laps, whichever comes first. The 27 should come first. Well, might not this time because they were under caution for a couple of laps. But in regards to strategy, I believe the fuel drop these guys have got, they get around about that 25-minute mark out of a tank of fuel. So approximately just over the halfway of the motor race. So who's going to blink early? Blinking early is not really going to help with if you're only going to take fuel, because you'll be stationary for longer to, you'll be stationary for shorter to fill up your tank, but it's not going to help you on your overall race pace. It's the interesting part's going to be who's going to take that gamble to take a set of tyres and drop that 20-odd seconds on your pit transit time, and whether they think they can make that up with track pace. I'm not sure that that's possible, but I'll guarantee you some of these guys at the back might just take that gamble, and guys that were caught up in that early incident. So we'll see how that happens as we're on board there with the 22 of Jared Knight back there in the 26th position, all having a nice lonely race there, making his way down Gardner Straight. He hasn't been through pit lane yet. He's 5 seconds off the back of the 53 of Andrew Franklin, which is in the 25th position at the moment. So he hasn't been through pit lane. He's just cruising around, having a nice solid race there, as we see a move there by Dan Smith. He did this in race 1 and he's done this in race 2. He really likes Honda corner, and Dan Smith just makes the move on Tim Weston and moves up into the 9th position in the 313 car there. And now he sets his sights on the 25 of Colby Coham, who is in the 8th position. Colby back in 8th after having an unfortunate incident in race 1, which had him finish in the 16th position. He's now up 8 spots into the 8th position. So we'll see whether Dan Smith can range up onto the back of Colby Coham and make a move for the 8th position. So that was a little bit of a lock there as we see Colby Coham try and make a move. It looks like Michael Budge was really slow coming out of MG corner there. So Colby Coham in the great position to be able to make a move on Michael Budge as they make their way onto Gardner Straight here. So keep your eye on Colby Coham in the draft here of Michael Budge. Is he going to be able to get the draft as they make their way down Gardner Straight into turn 1 and then into the southern loop. Not quite enough there as he makes his way through turn 1. Michael Budge doing a great job. He'll go shallow here into the southern loop and he covers off that position. So it's just settled down a little bit, but we'll keep an eye on this battle of Colby Coham in the 25. See whether he gets a run here through Stoner Corner as they make their way down into Honda Corner under brakes. He looks a little bit far back, but as we saw Smith earlier, I believe it was Andrew Smith earlier in this race, he wasn't afraid to send it from a long way back, but Colby Coham thinks better of that one, and Michael Budge still holds on to the 7th position. But this is the battle of the motor race at the moment. We'll stay on board with this one. Colby Coham right on the back of Michael Budge. Michael Budge has a mirrorful at the moment as they make their way up through turns 7 and 8. They'll go through Lukey Heights this time around. Lap 8 of 27. Is Colby going to set him up into the next corner, but we've just moved back onto the other battle. So Steven Skukovic here is right on the back of Dimitri Agathos, and this is the battle for P3, ladies and gentlemen. So we've got a battle for P3, P4 and P7 and P8, but we'll stay with this one as we did with the battle between Colby Coham and it looks like Michael Budge has an issue because I can see Colby Coham has moved up into the 7th position. So here we go. Battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Andrew Smith, Steven Skukovic and Adam Proctor. So it looks like Dimitri Agathos has moved up into the P2 position over Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith getting a great run through the mid of the corner there, but that's going to sacrifice his exit. And Steven Skukovic is in the position to possibly make a move down into Honda Corner. It looks like Andrew Smith had a bit of an off track there, hence why he fell back into the clutches there of Dimitri Agathos. Dimitri Agathos going really deep and wide there into MG Corner, which brings Andrew Smith back into this one. As I said earlier as well with, I believe that was Dimitri Agathos when he was following this lead battle as Jordan Mulak makes a 1.7 gap on the field. He was licking his lips together going, come on guys, you battle. And looks like that Steven Skukovic was in that position, but he's dropped just off the back of this. Andrew Smith and Dimitri Agathos. This is the battle for P2. Andrew Smith poking the nose up the inside, not quite there as we see Dimitri just get a glimpse of him in the right-hand mirror, pushes it a bit wide. Andrew Smith looking for the cutback and getting the run onto Gardner Straight. So we'll watch as they go through turn 11 and now onto turn 12. Andrew Smith getting a little push through the mid-corner, and that's really sacrificed his exit speed and allowed Steven Skukovic to get right into this one. And this is a three-way battle, ladies and gentlemen, for second place of this motor race, 10 laps into 27. How good is this, Paul, on the Intersim Esports Network?
Definitely, that's what we want, is a bit of close racing here, but it's definitely helped Jordan as well, bridge a bit of a gap there over these guys. So he's bolted, and that'll really help him in his pit stop as well. It'll take a little bit of pressure off when he makes his pit stop.
He has, but this is where the battle of the motor race is at the moment. Steven Skukovic trying to poke his nose up the inside as they make their way into Honda Corner. No room there. Andrew Smith says, no thanks, thank you, Steven. You're not going around the outside of me there. So he holds on to that 3rd position. Steven Skukovic will reset, tighten down those belts and put his eyes back onto that fluoro green or yellow, whichever you want to call it, car of Andrew Smith, and try have another crack. Adam Proctor in the background of this one as well in the 98 in 5th position. So here's a battle here with Dan Smith. He's a part of everything in this race. In the 3-1-3, they make a little bit of contact as they make their way through Lukey Heights. Dan Smith comes out the other side, the better of that on Brett Smith. It's the battle of the Smiths as they go down into Honda Corner. On the outside there is the 25 of Colby Coham. He's in a great position here as he moves around, but the 16 there of Brett Smith holding it high and wide, but no room there. That was really good for Dan Smith there in the 3-1-3 to get the break on this battle. So Dan Smith with a clean little break there in P6, but that was a great battle or a great exchange in the final segment of the lap. So Jordan Mulak, as we're on board with here, with a great lead. He's extended that lead to 3.13 seconds over Andrew Smith, who has Steven Skukovic all over the back of him at the moment in the 3rd position. Dimitri Agathos has moved back to the 4th position, and Adam Proctor in 5th. So there's been a change for 2nd, 3rd and 4th here as we are 11 laps into this motor race. So Steven Skukovic making his way and ranging up onto the back of Andrew Smith in this one in the 99 car. I tell you what, Paul, this battle has been going for about 4 or 5 laps now.
Yeah, it's great to see when we get some door-to-door action on this, and keeps everyone on their toes on the track as well, and it's a lot more fun as well for all the guys, having some great battles as they're racing.
Yeah, and we're about 18 minutes into this one, so we're coming into that pit lane window. I would suspect in the next 3 or 4 laps, we're going to see some of the first drivers blink and come down pit lane. So, we've got a massive battle here for 16. Travis Annabelle a part of this one as well, on board with Travis up the inside there in the 23 car. How good was that? They all got through that. It's a freight train of 10 here for this battle as we see cars diving hard down there into MG corner. Who's that in the green and black car with a great one, budging his way through into 11th and 12, corners 11 and 12. But Dave Oliver, it looked like, just went into pit lane there. So Dan Green with a great move there, saying, guys, you battle, I'll just take those 2 spots right off you. But I'm sure that Dan Green will have Wayne Visser all over the back of him. But who we got here? Martin Hallinan with a move down through turn 1. Let's see what happens here as they go through the southern loop. That outside line, he's sticking fast there on the outside line. He's off in the marbles. He's not going to be able to get on the gas as well. And it looks like he's going to have to sacrifice that position. As we're going to go too wide down through Stoner Corner. He's on the wrong side of the track at the moment. Are we going 3 wide? We're going to have contact, and he's around. We've got a spinner. They've made contact, so I'm sure Bradley Carr has just gone around. I'm sure there's going to be something said by race control about that one after this race. Not sure if 3 cars can go into Honda corner, and they definitely found out the hard way that that's not the case, Paul.
No, definitely not. And 3 cars on a track that probably only suit 2 cars wide in most spots besides the start line there. But definitely great to see all these battles going on across the track, not just up the front there as well.
Yeah, most definitely. And Ryan Barber back into the chat as well. He said the battle between Mulak and Smith reminded him of Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen in Formula 1. So here we go. Andrew Smith making a move there on Steven Skukovic. Steven Skukovic coming back to him on the outside through the southern loop. He's just having to tuck back in the number 1 car. So now it's a 4-way train. They've caught right back up. So Andrew Smith in the 2nd position. Steven Skukovic in the white car. You can see there, car number 1 in 2nd. Dimitri Agathos in 3rd. Dimitri Agathos in 4th, and Adam Proctor in 5th. So Steven Skukovic looking very racy at every opportunity. He's putting the number 1 white Porsche 992 right in the mirrors of the 99 green car of Andrew Smith. So Steven Skukovic looking very racy, but if these guys start battling, which I'm sure Steven's going to make a move very shortly, Dimitri Agathos is going to be right there to pounce, and so is Adam Proctor. So we'll just watch as they make their way up over Lukey Heights now, on board with Andrew Smith. Does Steven Skukovic have anything for him down into MG corner? No, he doesn't. He sacrifices a little bit of entry there to try and get exit. We'll see how that happens, or how that goes for him as they make their way through the final turns of 11 and 12. But we're not going to see that because Andrew Smith has blinked and come through pit lane as well. If we look at other guys that have gone through pit lane at the moment, it looks like nobody's taken tyres at this stage. Daniel Beckinsale did take tyres, I believe. He's back in 21st. His pit lane was 31 seconds, as opposed to the likes of Nico Filippetto and Garth Duffy with around about that 4, 5 to 7 second mark. So some guys are going to take fuel, some guys are going to take fuel and tyres, but we'll keep on board here with Jordan Mulak, who leads this motor race. He's edged that gap out to 5.46 seconds. So he'll blink at any moment now to make his compulsory pit stop. So we'll see whether he does it at the end of this one. Steven Skukovic is the man in 2nd place. He's still got Dimitri Agathos and Adam Proctor right up behind him. Dan Smith is back there in the 313. He's been in battles everywhere tonight, but as we said, we'll keep on board with Jordan Mulak as he makes his way through turn 7 and 8 and up to Lukey Heights. and see whether this is the lap that he is going to make his compulsory pit stop. So he makes his way over Lukey Heights, down into MG corner, back into first gear, gets it rotated through the apex on the gas as soon as possible, up into second and third. He'll go around the final two corners, turn 11. Is he going to blink this time around? No, he doesn't. He's going for another one through turn 12. So the 196 of Jordan Mulak is out for another lap. We'll just keep an eye on Steven Skukovic, Dimitri Agathos, Adam Proctor and Dan Smith, your second, third, fourth and fifth place getters. They're going for another lap as well. No one in pit lane currently. We'll keep an eye on that timing for you, ladies and gentlemen, but no one coming in pit lane yet. So this is the battle for second, third and fourth, Paul. It's settled down a little bit, and I reckon the pit stop is going to decide who comes out the best of this one as we're 15 through 27.
Yeah, we just rolled over halfway, and the guys will be getting a bit of a feel for the car now of how much further they can go on these tyres if they need to take tyres. They got a bit of an idea in the sprint race in the first race, as they did 14 laps in that one, and they'll see if they can push those tyres out for the full 27 or if they're going to take those tyres.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be interesting, especially these front guys. Wayne Visser currently in 25th. He's just in pit lane at the moment, so he's taking tyres because his pit stop is up over the 30-second mark at the moment. So either he's taking repairs for some damage or he's taken the tyres at the moment. So Wayne Visser has made his way through pit lane, but this is the battle we want to keep an eye on. Steven Skukovic, Dimitri Agathos, Adam Proctor, Dan Smith ranged right up onto the back of this group. It looks like is someone, yep, Dimitri Agathos blinks. He's the first one of this battle pack to make his way into pit lane. I tell you what, they'd only have 2 or 3 laps left of fuel, if anything, Paul. So Dimitri Agathos blinks. I'll keep an eye on his pit lane transit time and see what his strategy is going to be. I believe he'll just take fuel. He can't afford to allow himself to fall back into the clutches of the mid-pack of this one, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Steven Skukovic still leading the way over Adam Proctor, who's now moved up into P3. Dan Smith, the 313, the man who's in everything tonight, up there in fourth. So he's had a solid start to this one. He's up 6. Colby Coham still sitting back there in the 5th position. Brett Smith is there in 6th. Matt Feldman is in 7th. He's made his way up another couple positions, but still down 5 positions on his second place starting spot. Michael Budge in 8th, Tim Weston 9th, and Garth Duffy, your first man who entered pit lane, is back there in 10th. But we look at Dimitri Agathos. He's made his way out of pit lane, and he had a stationary time of 8.03 seconds. So he just took fuel, and he's come out in the 15th position, Paul.
Yeah, it's quite a long stop there. If you look at the likes of Dan Smith there, a 6.3 second stop, and Garth Duffy there, a 7.8. So Dimitri just losing a little bit of time there in pit lane. Yeah,
he did. But that would be the difference in what lap they pitted. So Garth Duffy pitted on lap 2, Dimitri Agathos on lap 15. So that's the 2-second difference there. They had to be, Dimitri Agathos had to be stationary longer than Garth. So, but Garth will be paying for this one later on in the race, possibly his tyre wear, but different to see how the car reacts in these different pit strategies. But still leading the way here, Paul, Jordan Mulak. He's extended that lead now out to 7.2 seconds over the 98 of Adam Proctor. Colby Coham up into the 3rd position at the moment. Steven Skukovic and Dan Smith have made their way into pit lane. They're out at the moment as well. Steven Skukovic with a blistering stop of 5.25 seconds. So that's one of the fastest we've seen so far. He went longer with his fuel, which means he needed to be stationary. Well, you'd think he would have had to be stationary longer, but he wasn't. So, no, he didn't have to be stationary longer, rather. I'm confusing myself. 5.25 seconds. So he came out of pit lane, has rejoined this motor race in P11, Paul. Garth Duffy still there in 8th, but we're on board with Jordan Mulak. He's got to blink any time now. His stationary time is going to be quicker, because there's not as long to go in this race to be able to fill it to the end. So I'll have crew chief happening. It'll all be happening for him and get figured out. He makes his way through turn 11. We'll see whether he comes into pit lane this time around. Looks like he's going again, Paul. So he's going for 18 laps. That'll put him under 10 laps to go here for round 1, race 2 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. And it's status quo and what we've been used to seeing here tonight. Jordan Mulak leads the way.
It looks like there's about 9 cars that haven't made a pit stop yet, as we're lap 18 of 27 now. So Adam Proctor was sitting up in P2 there. He's just finally made his way into pit lane. So we'll see how his time plays out, because he was sitting there in the P5, I think, Aiden.
Yeah, he was, and I'm keeping one eye on Garth Duffy as we just ride on board and keep it on board with Jordan Mulak, your race leader. Garth Duffy has been through pit lane, as I said, but that was on lap 2. And the way that it was explained, or we figured out this fuel drop was, I'm not sure he'll get to the end, because only going 2 laps in and pitting, I don't believe the fuel drop allows him to get to the end. So we'll keep one eye on the 71 of Garth Duffy as this race progresses. But the first person in queue currently that's been through pit lane in what we would call a normal sequence is the 66 of Dimitri Agathos. So Dimitri's up there in 10th, and in saying that, he's just been passed by the 313 of Dan Smith. So it looks like there's a battle, as there is a battle here between Dan Smith and Dimitri Agathos. The man that's in everything, the 313 of Dan Smith, runs it in a little bit hard there into Siberia, which allows Dimitri to just range up onto the back of him. That this is the battle, I reckon, for what will be second and third in this motor race when your leader, Jordan Mulak, decides to take his pit stop. So, really loose through the back end there for the 313 of Dan Smith. He had great fast hands to catch that one. Very shallow, covering his line on Dimitri there, down into MG corner. Dimitri Agathos just sitting there. He'll allow Dan to push his car early and hope that those fronts do get a little bit hot and wear out. But we're 19 into 27. Jared Knight's made his way into pit lane as well, out of the 9th position. So he is now in pit lane, dropping down the field. We'll see where he comes out. But we're on board now with the 66 of Dimitri Agathos. This is going to be your battle for second place, I'd suggest, when the likes of Jordan Mulak pits and Colby Coham pits and Brett Smith pits. Tell you what, they're running really, really long at the front of this motor race, but Jordan Mulak's made that gap go to 2.6 seconds. But here's the battle of the motor race. Dimitri Agathos and Dan Smith in the 313. So just waiting for these guys to go through and do their pit stops. These are the guys, that are in the top 8 of this motor race. But of course, we need to have a shout out to the sponsors while this battle goes on. Blendline TV, the naming rights sponsors of this, the ProCar E-Championship, brought to you by the Intersim Esports Network. All your vision here is by the Intersim Esports Network. Thank you everyone for tuning in, whether it be across our Facebook or YouTube. Be sure to like, follow our page, get amongst us in the chat, and be a part of this broadcast. We love getting interactive with all the viewers. Of course, Affordable Web Solutions, a big part of this as well. Thank you so much to them. Get onto them, whether it be through Facebook or through the World Wide Web, and support the people that support the iRacing community. Viken Media, for all your media solutions, same place, Facebook or through the web. If you need a website, any of those type of things, help with your small business, get onto Viken Media. And of course, South Gundagai Automotive, if you're down there in the Gundagai region, get a hold of them. If you need your car serviced, you need anything done, whether you be light vehicle, heavy vehicle, or even if you have a race car and you need some race car prep, they can look after you with that as well. So that's South Gundagai Automotive. Get onto them. But we're on board now. We're watching Jared Knight there in the 16th position. He's right behind the 27 of Russ Green, just having a little bit of a look there as they come down through Doohan Corner. No room there. Russ Green says, no, thank you very much, Jared. You're not going to make a move there. As they make their way now through Southern Loop, they'll come down through Stoner Corner and make their way up to Honda Corner. We'll see whether Jared Knight wants to make a move into Honda Corner. It looks like he's not settled, sitting there in the 16th position. But Russ Green's making his car as wide as possible and covers off his line there into Honda Corner. Is he going to be able to get the switchback? No, Russ Green makes a great drive there and covers off that move. So Jared Knight's just going to have to sit there a little bit longer, and I reckon he's going to try and set him up for MG corner, because Russ Green is protecting that line at the moment, but it's really sacrificing his exit speeds, Paul. So we'll watch as we see whether Jared Knight can make his move as they go up over Lukey Heights now. Car on the outside there, getting into a little bit of trouble there, Paul.
Yeah, Tim Maynard there, just a little bit of an off track, but good job there for everyone to avoid that.
Yeah, it definitely was. Matt Feldman just came through pit lane too, Paul. He's down in 13th now. He started out a second and he's back into 13th. Matt Feldman, he was stationary for 8.87 seconds. So a longer stop there for Matt. So he'll be wanting to make his way back up into the top 10 after what he would say was not one of his best starts at the start of this one, as we saw a chaotic start to this second race. Andrew Smith, we're on board now with the 99 in 11th. So Andrew Smith there is in 11th. Just still keeping an eye out here, Paul. There's 5 cars at the front, so your first 4 of Colby Coham, Brett Smith, Michael Budge and Tim Weston haven't made their way through pit lane, and the 5th of Martin Hallinan hasn't either. So one of these guys are going to have to blink anytime soon, but here is the battle for 3rd and 4th. So that's Michael Budge. Michael Budge, as you see there, just goes into pit lane. So Colby Coham in front of him as well has made his way through pit lane as well there, Paul. But Tim Weston now takes 2nd place, and it looks like that the leader of the motor race has made his way in. Yep, Colby Coham has. So Brett Smith takes the lead of this race from Tim Weston. The only 2 drivers to not make their way through pit lane. Colby Coham is on his way out of pit lane at the moment. Michael Budge still stationary in pit lane. Martin Hallinan on their way out. Michael Budge on their way out now as well. So Jordan Mulak's made his way through pit lane, but that number 71, a Garth Duffy, Paul, he has taken over 3rd in this motor race, and he has been through pit lane, but he came through pit lane on lap 2. So can he make it to the end? That is the question. As we know, the 16 of Brett Smith and Tim Weston in the 61 still need to transition through pit lane. So Garth Duffy from Bin Chicane Racing takes the lead of this motor race, 22 laps into 27. Tim Weston is 3rd place in this motor race. Brett Smith leads the way and Tim Weston in 2nd. But Garth Duffy will be your leader when Brett Smith and Tim Weston make their way in through pit lane, Paul. So we're 22 into 27 here for the Blendline TV ProCar Championship. What is round 1, race 2 of the series from the virtual Phillip Island? I tell you what, mate, it definitely hasn't disappointed.
Definitely the great Aussie track of Phillip Island there. So Garth Duffy, I think.
Yeah, there it is. There it is, Paul. Stop. Yep. Exactly as I thought. Garth Duffy on lap 2. He couldn't quite make. He would have been caught up in that stuff early. So Jordan Mulak re-establishes himself as the leader of this motor race in the 196 car there. Dan Smith is 6 seconds behind him. So that 10-second interval that Jordan did have before he came into pit lane has now dropped back to 6.5. So that comes through the stationary time. Dan Smith, the man who's in everything, as I call him. We're going to have to nickname him, Paul, as we go through the remaining rounds. We're going to have to call Dan Smith from South Gundagai Automotive himself. The man in everything. He's now in 2nd, 6.5 seconds from Jordan Mulak. Dimitri Agathos in 3rd, Adam Proctor in 4th, and Colby Coham rounds out your top 5 as they've all now gone through their compulsory pit stops, and we're on our way to the end of this motor race.
And just going back to our little off-topic thing there about the liveries, I've got to say, I think Dan Smith's livery there is my favourite for the night. The colourful blend there of colours, it looks quite outstanding on the track there, and you definitely notice it.
Yeah, it looks like one of those ice creams, those rainbow ice cream paddle pops. We'll call it one of that. He just needs a paddle pop stick out the back of the rear muffler and it'll look like a paddle pop. It makes it easy for us to call up here in the booth for the Indosim Esports Network. But good call there, Paul. It's a striking livery and looks great as you see the 313 of Dan Smith on screen there. I would have to say, because I've said it a couple of times in this broadcast, my favourite would have to be the car right behind him, the 66 of Dimitri Agathos. So Dimitri's running an orange and chrome type livery, and I really like the look of that one. If we can quickly bring that one up. I believe we are, but sometimes our program's running a little bit slower than what I'm talking. As you know, I can talk really fast. So that's my favourite livery there, the 66 Dimitri Agathos. I think that stands out very nicely.
Yeah, the full metal chrome there, look, it's very shiny as well. So a lot of spit polish would have gone into that one for shining it up for round one.
And what's even better, and definitely, yeah, would have a lot of polish there, but he's keeping it quite straight too. So the virtual mechanics won't have a lot to do after this one as they head to round two. But yeah, all the liveries they have done tonight have been absolutely sensational. So great job by all drivers out there in the series tonight here for round one. You've done a sensational job with your liveries, and a lot of the drivers have do their own paints. Some people get people to do their paints, but they put a lot of time and effort into making their cars as nicely presentable as they can. So thank you all the drivers for doing that, as we are on board with a very similar car there to Dimitri Agathos as their teammates. Michael Budge there in the 11th position. So very nice car there of the 8 by Michael Budge as well, with Octagon Engineering down the side there, Paul.
Yeah, similar colours, bit of a matte black through the middle there, which looks quite nice too, opposed to the gloss black.
Yeah, very different. I like the matte black there, and it really pops there with the black rims as well. So, but he is right on the back of Tim Weston at the moment. Sorry, is that for position? Yeah, he's right on the back of Tim Weston, I believe, but my live timing's saying he is not. So anyway, that'll catch up. He's right on the back of Tim Weston. We'll see whether he can make that move for 10th and for 10th and make his way up into the top 10 of this motor race with 25 of 27 at the moment. So we've just jumped across to Adam Proctor now in the 98 car. This is the battle for 4th and 5th. Colby Coham, you can see just in front in the green, grey and black car in the 4th position. So this is the battle for 4th and 5th at the moment. It looks like 1st, 2nd and 3rd, bar something going drastically wrong, is pretty much going to finish the way that they are at the moment. But here is the battle of the race. Colby Coham holding off Adam Proctor in the 98. This is bringing Brett Smith right into this one as well. As you can see in the background, another car just having a little bit of a moment there through MG corner, and that looked like that was Andrew Smith. So here... So Andrew Smith's on the back of him. Sorry, guys. I've got Paul in my ear. He's confusing me. But anyway... Here's the battle for the motor race. Colby Coham in 4th position. Adam Proctor in 5th. Brett Smith in 6th. And Andrew Smith, as I just mentioned, in that bright yellow car in 7th. So we'll just keep an eye on this. We're on our second last lap, 26 of 27 for round 1 of race 2 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. And we'll see whether these guys get a little bit racy in the final 2 laps. But Jordan Mulak is just holding that position at the front by 6.2 seconds over Dan Smith. Dimitri Agathos is about a second behind Dan Smith. I'll keep one eye on that gap as we are on the battle of the race for 4th, 5th and 6th at the moment. Colby Coham has a mirror full of Adam Proctor at the moment, and likewise Adam Proctor has a mirror full of Brett Smith rather. And Brett Smith will be ranging up onto the back of this one. We'll see whether anyone wants to have a go as they go over Lukey Heights and into MG corner and make a pass. The 98 here on Adam Proctor. It looks like no one's going to make a move here. They're just sitting in there. In the background there, you can see Andrew Smith very late on the brakes there into MG as they make their way through 11 and 12. It looks like Jordan Mulak has taken the white flag of this motor race. But, oh, there we go. Andrew Smith into pit lane. That's something really unusual. I couldn't quite catch what lap he last went down, but that's really going to ruin his race. Andrew Smith down pit lane. But here is the leader of the motor race, ladies and gentlemen. We're on the final lap. It's lap 27 of the round 1, race 2 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, brought to you right here on the Intersim Esports Network And Jordan Mulak is your man in the 196, leading the way over Dan Smith and Dimitri Agathos. He makes his way down into Honda corner now, very nicely through there, nice and slowly on the gas. He gets a little bit wiggly on exit, coming up to Siberia. He's just got half the track to navigate now, and he's going to go 2 for 2 and lead the championship after round 1. Makes his way through turn 7 and 8. And it looks like there was an incident there with Brett Smith in the background between 5th and 6th, but we'll stay on with your leader at the moment as he deserves all the coverage he can get in the 196 here of Jordan Mulak. He won race 1 from start to finish. He didn't have it his own way here in race 2, but he's definitely risen above the field and he's going to win this one in emphatic fashion. He's celebrating early, getting on the gas as he goes through the final corner, turn 12. And Jordan Mulak, as he comes on the Garden Straight in the 196, 2 races, 2 race wins, 2 pole positions, and that's your winner for race 2, round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Dan Smith will finish in 2nd and Dimitri Agathos in 3rd position there, Paul. We see Colby Coham coming through in 4th and Adam Proctor in 5th. What a race that one was, Paul, as we see everyone else finish their race, and we'll bring all the positions to everyone as they go across the line after this race. But, mate, I tell you what, that one went quickly.
Yeah, just like the first one. I was over before it began. But Jordan Mulak, what a showing tonight for round 1. Definitely put his foot down and said, I want to be number 1. I'm the best driver here, and took the sprint race and the feature race. So big shout out to Jordan there, doing a fantastic job for round 1.
Yeah, he'd be absolutely stoked with that one, Jordan, coming home P1. He was really class of the field tonight, off pole position in both races and came home first in both races. As I said, he didn't have it his own way in race 2. He was held accountable early, but he rose to the top there and definitely deserved that one. Dan Smith, the man who's in everything in the 313, a nice solid drive there to hold on for P3, and Dimitri Agathos, after a 5th position in race 1, a solid drive there to finish in P3. So I believe everyone's nearly across the line, and just before we go through the final placings here for race 2, again, a big shout out to Blendline TV, the major sponsor of the ProCar E-Championship, Affordable Web Solutions, Viken Media and South Gundagai Automotive for being a part of this one. We hope you enjoyed all the action here on the Indersim Esports Network. Please stay with us, whether you're through Facebook or YouTube. A lot to go on yet. We're going to bring you the top 3 drivers of this race up into the booth and have a chat with them and discuss round 2 and where we head this time next week on the Indersim Esports Network. But Paul, Phillip Island, Australia, definitely didn't disappoint, as I said. And I tell you what, how was that crash at the start? We weren't expecting that one.
No, it definitely wasn't. That was quite a big one there. And yeah, I think that might be the talk of race 1 as well at start.
Yeah, it most definitely will. But what we'll do is, as we see Jordan Mulak just sitting on, was about to do some donuts there, but we'll bring up your final positions here for race 2, round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, and take you through your full finishing positions here for race 2. And as we, that's not it. It seems like that. Okay, we've got that one right. So your winner was Jordan Mulak for the 2nd time tonight. Dan Smith in P2. Dimitri Agathos finished in P3. Colby Coham in P4. Adam Proctor in P5. Finishing in the 6th position was Brett Smith, followed by Michael Budge and Matt Feldman in the 8th position. Tim Weston was in 9th, and Garth Duffy round out your top 10. Martin Halloway finished in 11th. Jared Knight in 12th. Russ Green, in 13th. Dan Green in 14th, Andrew Smith in 15th, Stephen Skukovic in the 16th position, Dion Jarvis in 17th, and Daniel Beckinsale in 18th, Paul.
And Dave Oliver in P19 with Bradley Carr rounding out our top 20. Nico Filippetto in 21, Anthony Holm in P22, P23, Adrian Gretsch. 24, Wayne Visor. 25, Ricky Provençal. 26th, Travis Annabelle. 27th, Lindsay Cairns. And 28th, Brian Bullock.
As we roll over the page, 29th finishing position was Ashley Kersey. 30th was Tim Maynard. Finishing in the 31st position, Andrew Franklin. 32nd was Jonathan Hovey. 33rd was Chris Lillis. 34th, Josh Craig. And rounding out the field in 35th was Damon May, with those final couple of drivers in that incident early in the race. Unfortunate for those guys. But Paul, we have the top three drivers up in the booth ready to chat to us after we conclude round one of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. And we'll start off with the third place podium getter tonight, Dimitri Agathos, mate. What a race that one was. That start was definitely something.
Yeah, it was a good race. I mean, I got a good launch. And I think the guy on second didn't really get a good launch. And yeah, then I think one of the guys behind or next to me also got a reasonable start and moved across of me, and we almost collected each other. But then there was a safety car, obviously, instantly. I'm not too sure what happened. I think it was something to do with the guys at the back. So yeah, and then after that we just settled into a rhythm and got through the race.
Dimitri, how'd the car feel? Obviously, you didn't take tyres through that stop, I believe, from looking at your stationary time through pit lane. How'd the car feel in the back end of that stint as opposed to the fresh, I believe, about 4 laps until you feel a drop-off and then the car sort of stabilises? Did you feel as you got closer to lap 27 that it was a little bit harder to drive, or was it as stable as it was, say, on lap 14?
Like it was actually reasonably well. I think the tyres get to a stage and they plateau. But it did, I think with the more fuel load on board, it was a little bit sketchy on the front end in a couple of corners after the pit stop. But then after it settled down and we got back into a rhythm, it was like really nice to drive. And the car's been, pretty awesome to drive.
Paul, over to you, mate.
So you had a pretty good run in the feature race there. Obviously Dan Smith there, quite a bit of pace from Dan Smith. You guys being teammates there as well, so you had a bit of banter on the comms there, were you, as you're going around, or how'd you go trying to hold him off? But obviously Dan Smith, we saw through the race in the first couple of laps and that, he had quite a bit of pace. So any banter there between you guys going on to try and hold him off?
Oh yeah, there's always a bit of banter in the group. Which is why we all been racing for so long. This is season 7, so if there isn't really banter and chemistry, then people drop out and you don't have a series. So yeah, the banter's been good. And the racing was pretty good at the front there. So hopefully we're looking forward to more of it in the coming rounds.
Well, mate, moving on to round 2, you come away from this one, round 1 at Phillip Island, with a 5th in the shorter race and now a podium in 3rd in the second race. How do you feel going into round 2 next week at Hungary?
Yeah, I did a few practice sessions earlier in the week in the official session around Hungary, just to get a feel for the new track. And obviously to acclimatise more to the car as well. So I'm feeling, we can replicate another hopefully strong top 10 at Hungary as well.
Well, we hope to talk to you up in the booth at Hungary as well, mate. But congratulations again on your P3. You must have a few shout-outs to people before we let you go.
Shout out to Full Gas Racing, Nova Employment and Binge Chain Racing, our sim team.
No worries, mate. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. P3 for round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, and that is Dimitri Agathos, which moves us to our second place getter and teammate of Dimitri Agathos, Dan Smith, mate. The 313 car, your car looks amazing, and I tell you what, you were the man that was a part of everything tonight.
Yeah, good and bad, but you get that with racing.
Yeah, you'll watch the broadcast back, and I actually nicknamed you Dan Smith, the man in everything. So great job there on a P2, mate. Good battle with Dimitri. You've got to be happy with your P2.
Yeah, especially from starting, I think, 10th on the grid, and then I just bombed it on the line and spun the wheels. Had 4 or 5 cars go around. Safety car helped me a bit, grouped everyone up. Just concentrated on keeping the tyres under the car, consistent laps. Took an early pit as I caught the battling front pack to try and give myself some clean road. Seemed to work out well.
Yeah, it seemed like that. Did you see anything starting out of the 10th position? I know you're looking forward, but you might have seen something in the mirror. Did you see anything with that big gaggle at the start?
I looked in the mirror because I assumed there'd be cars piling around me all over the place, but saw a car sideways, bunch of smoke, and no one was coming. So.
Yeah, well, I tell you what, I reckon it was nearly half the field involved in that one, but lucky you kept out of that one. Paul, anything you want to have a chat to Dan about?
Yeah, the sprint race there, you're looking very racy, and we'd said that all night. Through practice, you're very fast there. Qualifying didn't really seem to go your way as such in both of them, but that sprint race there, you're looking very good moving your way through the field. And had a bit of a bad result there, getting spun out, I think.
Yeah, I was on the inside of Jared coming out of Siberia, and he got the rear end a little bit loose. And I think it probably shouldn't have been as bad as it was, but the net code took over and did the classic iRacing thing.
Yeah, as it does sometimes, and that can't be helped. But we did see quite a few battles with you making your way through the field, so definitely got a lot of pace, and we'll be watching out for you in the next race anyway.
Yeah, thanks for that. The this series seems to have the field a lot closer battles. I don't know if you guys saw in the heat race, we went 3 wide into turn 1 without tears. So yeah, looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah, we did see that in the broadcast. I tell you what, I'm going to need a drink after that one. So it was an hour and a half of sensational racing. But Dan, congratulations on your P2 for the second race tonight. I'm sure you've got some shout outs you need to give.
Yeah, absolutely. The series sponsors, Affordable Web Solutions, South Gundagai Auto, and Viking, Blendline TV for sort of putting this all together. Damon May's been doing some great work behind the scenes, along with Dave Oliver Photography.
No worries, mate. Well said. Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. P2 for race 2, round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship. Dan Smith, which moves us to the winner, 196 car of Jordan Mulak. Sorry, Jordan, if I'm saying that incorrectly, but mate, 2 pole positions, 2 wins. You can't ask for much more than that, but I tell you what, in that second race, you didn't have it all your way early.
I didn't, and congratulations on getting my last name right. You're one of the very few people who's able to on the first go. No, that was a really good race in the second one. The first race was pretty good as well. Being at the front the whole time with my teammate Matt Fellman. The fact that we were able to run our own pace was pretty great in the first outing. We set our quali laps, and it's like, oh, we're 1-2. This will be interesting if we can keep that up, and we did. So I'm super proud of him as well, because he's not been that confident in the Porsche, and I've been doing a little bit of coaching with him. But yeah, in the second race, I was quite lucky that there was a safety car called, because even though I had backed it down at turn 2 on the first lap, I did run it wide just because I wasn't concentrating. So luckily I was able to get back past everyone. Then the battle in those opening laps with Andrew was certainly a bit spicy. Wasn't really expecting it, especially I think I had to open the door a bit. Down at Honda, probably on that first lap, because he sent it up the inside, and I was already at the limit of my brakes, so I knew that he'd probably overshoot it. But no, full credit to him, he stopped it in time, and I just had to line up a pass on him on the next lap, and it was good racing with him. From what I saw, the quality of the racing up and down the field was quite strong. So well done to PROCAR and everyone for putting this on. It seems like it's going to be a really enjoyable series.
Well, moving ahead to Budapest, Hungary next week, we're going to see something similar by the 196 car next week. Are we going to see 2 poles and 2 wins, do you think?
I mean, I hope so, but it's actually a track that I don't own. So I've probably got to go by it and do a bit of practice. But I mean, Phillip Island's a good track for me. I think it suits this car very well. But yeah, going to somewhere like Budapest where I don't know it so well, really only played it in the F1 games, it'll be a different scenario, I think. So yeah, it's nice to go into that round with a bit of a buffer, so at least I don't have to try and go all out right from the start. And yeah, if I need to, I can just collect points from there.
Well, Paul, over to you as always, mate.
Yeah, so it's a great job you did there tonight, Jordan. I'm pretty sure you'd be pretty happy with that one. But I think you were the only driver to do a 129 in qualifying, in the high 129s there. I think the next car was a 130 flat, so it was quite a blistering time there, and obviously solid results starting on the grid, P1 and P1 finishes. On the start of the feature race there, when that yellow flag come out, noticed you run off the track there. What happened there?
Yeah, that was just a bit of distraction on my part. At the time I was talking to Matt on comms, just making sure that he was all good and not caught up in whatever had caused that yellow flag, and it turned out that it was okay. But yeah, I just wasn't paying attention at that point. And, I mean, I can probably go back and watch the replay, and I was going slower than what I was in previous races. It didn't put enough steering in. But luckily, with the way that iRacing goes and the fact that the yellow was already called, I was able to get back out in front. So that was a big get out of jail free card for me.
Yeah, certainly was. We was watching that and did get that, so you were just wondering what happened there. But no, well, good, great job on round 1.
Thank you, and yeah, thanks to everyone for putting this on. It's a really good series. Dave Oliver and I are mates outside of here from the motorsport world, and yeah, when he told Matt and I about this series that it was coming on, we thought that we'd jump at the opportunity to do it. We love driving the new 992 Porsche. It's a lot more of a forgiving car than the 991, so I think that the spread across the pack will be a lot closer together as well. It's a much gentler and easier car to drive, which allows people perhaps who are a bit more on the amateur side or getting into it to drive it hard still. So hopefully the rest of the championship will be good and we can have some good close battles with a bit of safety.
That sounds like a car that I might need to go and invest in then.
It's good value for money, I'll say that much. Yeah, as much as everyone who knows me knows that I love the 991, and that was my absolute baby. This thing's just a nice cushion to drive in comparison. So yeah, as I said, it suits a track like Phillip Island. It's a higher downforce car than the old one. It has a lot better braking, so especially at corners like Honda, you can just line up a pass and get on the brake side and still pull it up in time.
Well, Jordan, winner of round 1, 2 poles, 2 wins. I'm sure there are some other people you want to thank.
Yeah, absolutely. So as I said before, I want to thank my teammate Matt Feldman, since joining the DGR, Digital Global Racing team, probably a few months ago, either the back end of last year or the start of this year. It's been really good to be in a team environment and involved with guys who are, good across a lot of other categories. So yeah, it's certainly been good to race with guys like him. He helps me with rallycross. I help him with the Porsches. So and thanks again to the organisers of this and Blendline TV. It's really fantastic that we get this stuff not only put on but broadcast and run well as well. So the fact that the first round and there weren't really any niggles is a very good thing. So going forward, I'm sure that everything will be perfect and smooth sailing from here.
No worries, Jordan. Well, once again, from us at the InterSim Esports Network and everyone involved at the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, congratulations once again on your P1, 2 pole positions, 2 wins, and you're the leader of the championship moving into round 2 next week from Hungary. But that wraps up round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship right here on the Intersim Esports Network. As I mentioned, we're off to Budapest in Hungary next week. Same time, same place here on the Intersim Esports Network. That will be next Tuesday night from approximately 7:45 p.m. You'll be able to catch all the action live here across our Facebook and YouTube channels. But before we get there, we head Australasian Supercar E-Series racing next Sunday night, or this Sunday night rather, from Lime Rock Park. We'll be live from 7:30 p.m. this Sunday night for all the action for the second to last round of the Australasian Supercar E-Series. But tonight, we conclude round 1 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship, and Jordan Mulak was your winner here for round 1. We hope you enjoyed all the action here on the Intersim Esports Network, and we look forward to seeing you on Sunday night for the Australasian Supercar E-Series, and then back with you next Tuesday night for round 2 of the Blendline TV ProCar E-Championship right here on the Intersim Esports Network. Thank you everyone for tuning in, and we wish you a good night.